In 2007, the Los Angeles Lakers agreed to trade Kobe Bryant to the Detroit Pistons. The framework was in place. The players going back were named. It was close enough that both front offices believed it was happening. It did not happen. And it did not fall apart because a general manager changed his mind, or because an owner stepped in. It fell apart because Kobe Bryant read his own contract and said no. There's a provision in the NBA's labor agreement called a no-trade clause. It does exactly what it sounds like. A player who has one cannot be moved anywhere without his own approval. Almost nobody has one. To be eligible, a player needs 8 years of service in the league. He needs 4 seasons with the team he is re-signing with. And this is the one that closes the door on nearly everyone. The clause can only be written into a brand new contract. It cannot be added to an extension. In the entire history of the league, roughly 10 players have ever had one. It is still that rare today. Every season, a handful of players in a league of hundreds hold the power to refuse a trade outright. The rest can be moved in the middle of a season, in the middle of a road trip, in the middle of a sentence. Kobe Bryant is on that list, but he did not have it for the first 8 years of his career. And in those 8 years, the Lakers tried to trade him too. Started the 1999 season. Phil Jackson's first year coaching the Lakers. Bryant is 21 years old, coming back from a hand injury and unhappy with his role. By Jackson's own account, Bryant called Jerry West and asked to be traded. Jackson says he thought about a Detroit offer of Bryant for Grant Hill. He says he thought about it for a few minutes, then corrects himself and says a few seconds. In the diary Jackson published years later, he describes going further. He writes that he wanted Bryant traded to Phoenix for Jackson Kidd and Shawn Marion. And he writes that Jerry West gave him the same answer both times. The owner would never trade Kobe Bryant. Think about that. In 1999, the head coach wanted him gone. Bryant himself had asked to go. 2 other teams were interested. He stayed because one man, the owner, Jerry Buss, said no. That was the entire mechanism. There was no clause, there was no paper, there was a person.
Well, I mean, they had the desire and the ambitions to turn things around. And, they had a high pick in the draft. And, I liked the prospects that were coming out. I felt it was a pretty good opportunity for the future there, but you sit down with Jerry, he looks you in the eye, he tells you what he's going to do.
5 years later, Bryant walked into a window almost no player in the league history has walked into, and he never had to rely on that person again. In the summer of 2004, the Lakers had just lost the finals. Shaquille O'Neal was traded, Phil Jackson was gone, and Kobe Bryant was an unrestricted free agent. Look at what that summer did. He had just completed his 8th season. Gate 1. He had been with the Lakers for all 8. Gate 2. And because he was a genuine free agent rather than a player signing an extension, he could negotiate brand new terms. Gate 3. He was serious enough about leaving that he spent that summer in real conversations with the Clippers. Then he re-signed with the Lakers. 7 years. $136 million. That's the only moment in a 20-year career when all 3 conditions were true at once. If he had signed an extension instead of entering free agency, the clause would have been impossible. Every year after this, it would have been impossible. Which brings us back to 2007. The team around him had not been rebuilt the way he believed he had been promised. He asked out publicly, and this time the Lakers listened. A deal came together with the Pistons, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, draft picks. Bryant later described what happened next. He said he had given the Lakers a list of teams he was willing to go to. Detroit was not on it. So he refused. And because of one paragraph signed 3 years earlier, refusing was all he had to do. Look at the two moments together. In 1999, Bryant wanted out and was told no by the man who owned the team. In 2007, Bryant wanted out and was the one saying no to the destination. He did not gain leverage by getting better. He was already the best guard alive in 1999. He gained leverage by signing a different kind of contract. For the record, his first choice was Chicago. Those talks reportedly hung up on the Bulls' unwillingness to include Luol Deng. Now here's why the list is 10 names long instead of 100. A great player signs his first enormous contract long before his 8th season, because teams do not wait. Then, when the deal nears its end, the team offers an extension, and the player takes it, because an extension is money without risk. But you cannot put a no-trade clause into an extension, only a new contract. Which means every time a star protects his money the easy way, he gives up the only path to protecting where he lives. Bryant reached free agency in the exact year he became eligible, at the exact moment the franchise could not afford to lose him. That is not loyalty, that's timing. And he was the rare player who noticed what the timing was worth. There is one more mechanism, and it arrives in 2013. Bryant had torn his Achilles tendon. He was 35 years old. He had not proven he could still play. The Lakers extended him for 2 years and $48.5 million. $23.5 million in the first year, $25 in the second. It kept him the highest paid player in the entire league. Asked about it, Bryant said it was not a negotiation. He said the Lakers came to him with the number.
Fans have the right to have those concerns. I urge caution in thinking that they know more about cap than the Lakers management does in terms of what they can and can't do. But we sat down and discussed this. This is something that was important to me, is being able to find the balance of something that's fair from a business perspective as well as winning. Because as athletes, we have to wear both hats.
Right. He played 6 games that season. And whatever anyone thought of the basketball, the math did something specific. No team in the league was going to absorb $25 million for a 37-year-old coming off that injury. He did not need to invoke anything. The contract itself made him immovable. Kobe Bryant played 20 seasons for one franchise. That is the sentence everyone remembers, and it gets told as loyalty. For the first 8 of those seasons, staying was a decision other men made about him. The coach wanted him traded. The general manager fielded the calls. The owner said no. For the 12 seasons after that, staying was a decision he made. The difference between those two sentences is one paragraph, in one contract that almost nobody in the history of this league has ever been allowed to sign. We read the fine print so you don't have to.